Welcome to Edu Studio, Ktet, June 2018. Questions and answer. Total number of questions 40. Area is Adolescent Psychology Theories of Learning and Teaching Aptitude. Category 3, Part B. To education of persons with disabilities until 18 years of age is laid down under RAT Act 2009, PW Act 2016, UGC Act 1956, CU Act 2009. Answer is option B, PW Act 2016. Development proceeds from center to peripheral, head to feet. Option A, 1 is wrong and 2 is correct. B, 1 and 2 are correct. C, 2 is wrong and 1 is correct. D, 1 and 2 are wrong. Answer option B, 1 and 2 are correct. Which one among the following is not necessary for effective learning? Activity, interest, result, and model. Answer is model. Core scholastic areas such as performance in sports, art, music, dance, drama, and other cultural activities and social qualities are assessed in unit and summative tests, outdoor and stage competitions, continuous and comprehensive assessment, aptitude and skill assessment. Correct answer is continuous and comprehensive assessment. Learning appropriate sex role is a development task in babyhood, childhood, adulthood, adolescence. Answer adolescence. Raju, who learned violin, is able to play guitar and flute as well. This means Raju is gifted person, is a born musician, transferred his learning, generalized his learning. Answer is transferred his learning. Question number 7. Rani was watching TV when her father reminded her of her low grade and sent her to study. But Rani only wasted her time at her study table. Which of the following learning law that Rani's father failed to apply? Law of effect, law of exercise, law of readiness, and law of identical element. Correct answer, law of readiness. Which among the following is not an activity of teacher as a mentor? Acclimatization, role modeling, listening and advertising, year planning. Answer, year planning. Leila saw her husband standing in front of movie theater. Later, she accused him to going for movie without her. The assumption Leila made about her husband has been explained by which of the principles? Principle of closure, principle of proximity, principle of similarity, principle of transposition. Answer is option B, principle of proximity. Students desire to become responsible and self-disciplined and to put forth effort to learn is internal motivation, persuaded motivation, external motivation, social motivation. Answer, internal motivation. Deferred imitation occurs when the infant has learned a mental structure of external world. Infant has learned to observe the mannerisms of adults. The infant has learned about cause and effect relations. The infant has learned that certain things are related. Answer, infant has learned a mental structure. or schema of external world. Which among the following is not appropriate for students with different abilities? They should admitted in special schools for special care and support. They should be provided appropriate support and service in schools. They should be admitted in regular school with other students. They need the support of teachers with special training. Answer: they should be admitted in special schools for special care and support. An accuracy with which a test measures whatever it is supported to measure is called consistency, objectivity, feasibility, validity. Answer is validity. At night, Gobi was woken up by some strange sound from outside the house. Though he couldn't make out what exactly the sound was, he assumed it must be wind blowing on trees and went to sleep peacefully. The cognition process occur in his assumption is accommodation, inductive reasoning, assimilation, deductive reasoning. Answer is assimilation. Radha complains that she falls asleep whenever sits for study. What would you advise her? Attend a motivational class, take a health checkup, take a good sleep and then sit for study, wash face with cool water and sit for study. Take a health checkup. Karthik was offered alcoholic liquor during his friend's birthday celebration. Karthik thought of his father who doesn't take drinks. He feared a bad sense if he goes back home drunk. Therefore, Karthik refused the drink offer. The stimulus that prompted Karthik to avoid drink is negative reinforcement, punishment, positive reinforcement, and reward. Answer is negative reinforcement. Which among the following is a student-centered learning approach? Gurukula learning, ICT assisted learning, distant learning, collaborative learning. Correct answer is collaborative learning. Content, objectives and type of questions of a test related to reliability, objectivity, blueprint, consistency. Answer is option C, blueprint. Which of the following about environment is not true? Environment influence starts from birth. Environment is unique to each individual. Environment is physical surrounding. Environment include the thoughts and attitude of others. Answer is environment influence starts from birth. Which among the following is common among teachers and counselors? Facilitating, empathy, disciplining, evaluation. Answer: empathy. The teacher dominance over student is acceptable in creating and giving clear expectation and consequences for student behavior, the kind of activity each student should engage in for learning a concept, the type of response and feedback expected from the students about a session, the amount of time and effort required by each student for completing a task. Answer is option A. Number 22. Teacher as a social engineer means teacher mold student according to needs and demands of the society. Teacher makes plans for the development of the society. Teacher is able to make changes in the society. Teacher is a critic of the society. Answer is teacher molds student according to the needs and demands of society. Words that actually written in their real meaning is called transformational structures, deep structures, social structures, and surface structure. Answer is surface structure. After watching film Tarzan, Raju climbed a tree, swung from branches, and felt himself a hero. Satisfaction Raju had is due to direct reinforcement, vicarious reinforcement, self reinforcement, natural reinforcement. Answer option B, vicarious reinforcement. A traditional instrument for assessing individual references along one or more given dimensions of behavior is called stethoscope, periscope, paper pencil test, comprehension test. Answer is paper pencil test. Number 26. Jija, who failed in examination, justified that she failed because her teacher failed to remind her on time about the examination. Jija used the mental mechanism of projection, regression, identification, humor. Answer is projection. A teacher is expected to dash the cultural background, values, bias, and learning style of students and dash how these influence their behavior and learning. Answer restructure, assess, avoid, ignore, recognize, consider, challenge, prevent. Correct answer recognize, consider. That is, a teacher is expected to recognize the cultural background, values, bias, and learning style of students and consider how these influence their behavior and learning. The quality of positive feedback is specific on demerits, general comment on the impression, advice for improvement, close in time to preference. Answer is close in time to the preference. 9. Pick the qualities of creative person from the following: sensitivity and fluency, fluency and rigidity, rigidity and sensitivity, fluency and conformity. Correct answer is sensitivity and fluency. Manu in LKG class is not able to write letters, alphabets legibly. This is because insufficient practice from home, lack of maturation of the muscles, learning disorder. Manu's skills are in different areas. Correct answer is lack of maturation for muscle. Number 31. Reshmi teacher is a strictly disciplinarian who insists on punctuality among her students. One day she reached school late due to a valid reason. Reshmi's student criticized her and labeled her as one who does not practice what she preaches. Which among the following does not explain students' response? Adolescents take principles ideally. Early adolescents take rule and laws as essence of right and wrong. Adolescent students dislike strict teachers. Adolescents are capable of reasoning, but their thinking is affected by lack of maturity. Correct answer is adolescent students dislike strict teachers. Ravi rolled a piece of paper around a ballpoint refill and used it as a pen in the class. This shows Ravi wants to save money from buying new pen. Ravi is misusing paper. Ravi is a wrong model for such mischief in class. Ravi is thinking differently. Correct answer is Ravi is thinking differently. Creation is the manifestation of perfection already in man, who is known for this statement. Rabindranath Tagore, Nitya Chaitanyayati, Swami Vivekananda, J. Krishnamurti. Correct answer Swami Vivekananda. Nervousness, fear, and inferiority are linked to mistrust in infancy, identity confusion in adolescence, isolation in adulthood, guilt in childhood. Answer is guilt in childhood. Which one among the following method promotes collaboration between teachers and students? Authoritarian method, democratic method, laissez-faire method, indifferent method. Answer, democratic method. Rajan knows his wife's phone number, but he cannot recall the number. He searched and dialed the number from the phone directory. These two explains short-term memory and long-term memory, long-term memory and short-term memory, procedural memory and flash memory and procedural memory. Answer, long-term memory and short-term memory. 37. Bablu was frightened by a dog when he opened neighbor's gate. Later he is afraid to open any gate. Bablu's fear of gate is natural response, unconditioned response, neutral response, conditioned response. Correct answer, option D, conditioned response. Question number 38. Reflection on one's own action and make changes to become better teacher is result of self-awareness, self-concept, self-hypnotism, self-adjustment. Answer, self-awareness. 9. Interacting with students and influencing them to achieve learning objective is dash role of the teacher. Management, leadership, persuasive, executive. Correct answer is leadership. Last question, question number 40. A morally matured person is controlled by shame, praise, guilt, fear. Right answer is option B, praise.